will build on some of the things, and this is a vast area now today, and it is going exponentially up. There are critics, and any science, anything comes, it takes its own time, and sometimes people want to go fast, and it doesn't go that way, but it is steadily going up, like our economy or our GDP, or you see the stock. So it is a field which is emerging, and nobody can stop it. That is the message for future. And it is a really interdisciplinary field today, and having encompassing all the fields of science practically. And if you go to various countries, there are initiatives, and India also has a Nano initiative. They are going as per scientific prediction, and expectations are always higher than predicted path. But if you see the recent Higgs boson, one of the basic discovery, where from the mass has come, the dark energy, dark matter, probably we are studying from our undergraduate, postgraduate days, and going finer to details as we are going in higher and higher studies. They are discovered after 50 years of prediction. And similarly, superconductivity today is being used everywhere. Large Hadron Collider, even popular one is the levitating trains, which eventually after some time it will come, but first we will start with bullet train. But it is there in various countries. They are all superconductivity. It took 70 to 75 years to really come to the field. So we have to wait for that. But it is having very significantly defined properties. That makes it different class system. And it is not limited to the particular traditional field of research. So that is why this kind of thinking, today's thinking is more interdisciplinary. And after doing nano science and nanotechnology program, a student or a researcher can reorient to various disciplines of technology. So it actually makes a complete researcher in this field today. And so this highly interdisciplinary area will need a different kind of thinking. One should not think I am a physicist, I will not think anything beyond physics, or I am a chemist, I will not try to go beyond chemistry. We should work together. Collaboration, cooperation is this mantra of the day for this field. And in Indian context, if we look at India, and up to 2050, generally in science we have what we call a roadmap, we have vision, and then top level planners, programmers and scientists, they look for future. Present, how to build and what look for. It is a very important thing, and Goldman Sachs data and United Nations data, so there is nothing from Kanjila or somebody. And this is the inevitable thing going to happen. This Indian GDP is going to big way, European GDP, all top 4 countries together will be nowhere. And this is going to happen, whatever system will go. And this GDP needs support from the huge population which is there in Asia. Actually, 3 countries of Asia I have taken, but if you add other few more, South Korea, it goes even further. But these 3 countries, for example, it is taken from there. And if you see that huge population, so it needs education. It means that this kind of manpower, if they are well educated and they are thinkers, they have the assets, that this GDP gets a force multiplier. So this is the kind of scenario where actually biggest advantage and biggest benefits will be enjoyed by the Asians. Huge population and huge GDP to support. American GDP will be nowhere. Europe, you are seeing their population, they are practically not comparable. This population, due to their high education, is more or less stabilizing. So it is not predicted differently. But this actually gives us a roadmap to think. As a visionary, one has to think this. This is the direction here. Actually, huge investment, as we are seeing today, it is going on in education, in infrastructure, in research is very much important. And as I see from different database, this area this Aggarwal college in Ballabgarh is contributing quite well. It is good encouragement to give the bright young students future direction. And I think that today you know the most important media to see what is happening in the country is you can just go to Google without talking to many people. You know the standing, you know the different directions, what kind of research going on, and very good centers are coming up. In fact, our center is one of them. Every couple of years you see it completely different. So it is a dynamic system coming up. There are various disciplines. We are working in the accelerator field. I will share some of the thing in the accelerator. But this gives us a direction that we are going to be huge economy. You see, touching USA and nearly touching and going further. Even China is going further. But beauty is that we are democratic. The distribution is different. And person from all kinds of strata can become leader. And that is example is there in our presidents, prime ministers, all those people are coming from all levels. So intellectually driven country. So eventually, hopefully we will cross, as Tagore predicted long time back, Rabindranath Tagore, Bharat Abar Jagat Sabha says to us on the yes, in the world. But anyway, let us look at this, but this is a very important thing. Predictions are from Goldman Sachs and even Rice Cooper. Also, you can see their site. It is more or less similar. And so, what we need to do, we pursue vigorously innovative education and research. Innovative. It is not just model learning, just mugging things, which are not actually going to take us very further. It is innovation should be there, doing projects, doing experiments, working interacting with the students, teachers, other scientists, and promote transfer of knowledge to industry. Our industry and education, these combinations are not that good. Now, part interactions are increasing and enhance collaboration and interaction. And this is one thing India is lagging compared to Europe and USA, no doubt, some of the developed countries. But it is coming up. These are needed to actually support these two, and these together will take us in one of the top countries. Today itself we are seeing that especially our passport, and we are having the scientists internationally, tremendous assessment. All international forums we have a big say. And for this, particularly if you look back, how this technology really changed us, shape us. This is one of the very important technology. If you look at is a semiconductor or solid state physics, you can say, with chemistry also, processing is chemical process. And so when it started in around 60, the transistor first time came. And then it was unbelievable. All diode-based electronics were there, Second World War, First World War. They are doing havoc, they are fantastic, they are doing. It was slowly coming up. And this cost, the typical transistor at that time was $2 per transistor. And today, if you see, its size has come to 35, below 40 nanometer typically. And the chips we are using in our mobiles, modern mobiles, smartphones, and laptops or iPad. And then cost is coming to 20 nanodollars per transistor. You can see this is you can see the jump. It is around 10 to the 8 to 10 to the 9. That is why you can afford a smartphone. Otherwise, you would have needed few $1 million to buy a smartphone today. Okay, but that $1 million would not help because the size is also gone to a factor of 10 to the 8. So you can keep in your pocket or in your purse. Otherwise, it would have been few tons weight with so many features. So it is not only one thing. It is not only one process. It is totality in science. Science, when they see that, but this is a very good example because it goes quickly to the students or all community. Because today everybody somehow using some laptops or computers, smartphones or chips and various ways. Even this one, this laser projection is a diode laser. This is a gallium arsenide. If I use gallium nitride, it will be blue. So these are all development from transistor technology. This is slowly going to micron. These are micron to nano. We have transferred over the years. But now it is going faster. I will come to that point, why it is so. But these are the technology. So whether you wish it or not, it will happen. So people will keep innovating. It is like if Einstein was not there, there would be another Einstein who would have given general theory of relativity. Similarly, gravitation. Newton or not Newton, gravitation would have been discovered over time. So slowly, known to unknown, we are going. And it is independent of any one of us. We get a chance to contribute in this process. So this is one of the very important use. Today it is going a big scale all over the world. Using high temperature superconductor once it came. It was discovered around the same time when Nano initiative started building up. It was in mid 80s. The mid 80s, one of the beautiful things happened is that STM immediately given Nobel Prize. ITC immediately given Nobel Prize within a couple of years. Some Nobel Prizes had to wait for 50 years. So these are the discoveries. What is the beauty of STM or AFM? You can see atom independent. I will come to it a bit for the sake of students. Independently direct space. TEM, when we do or XRD, we go in K space. So what is the difference between that for students particularly? If I have a pistol, I take out about 10,000 atoms for some location. My XRD will be same. My TM spectrum will be same. Because other scattering chamber centers, other atoms will scatter the light or scatter the photon, and K space separation will be same, peaks will be at same location, so we will not know some atoms are missing. But if I put a STM, I will see, oh, this atom is missing, next atom is missing. I am directly seeing here, there and there. I will explain a bit deeper as I go. But this makes a big beauty. So in India also we have made a lot of contributions with some collaborations. And this actually I will show that it means that when the high temperature superconductivity came, people still today also, a lot of people don't know, it is being heavily used. Even we are using our center. If the whole CERN, the Higgs boson discovery would not have happened so fast if ITC leads were not there. It is tens of thousands of them they are using. And this pin is done in nanostructure. These are typically 5 nanometer, 4 to 5 nanometer fluxons. I will not go to further in this to have it quick and main important. What is the beauty of high temperature superconductors, unlike earlier superconductors, are that these are cupid planes. So you can pin them, and pins are correlated with each other. So one can calculate the pinning force and plan this nanostructuring of them to the desired locations and desired scale. I can change the beam, I can change the energy, and I can have that pinning centers accordingly. In fact, this idea to some extent came from this earlier work in using high energy ion beam in this TAC, nuclear TAC detection. In fact, SSNTD, solid state nuclear TAC detection, and Professor Chakrabarti has pioneering work in this field is there. And actually, science builds from known to unknown. As one generation gets the knowledge, next generation pick up from that point. And that is how it goes. And we who are working nearly 4 decades in science, we enjoy seeing a lot of things. In fact, laser and these technologies, all those things emerge in front of us. My PhD was in 70s in IIT Kanpur. We were doing many things, and we saw them happening, like this laser diode, even this eye operation using laser. I come from laser field. Our Professor Dear in our lab, he was eventually MIT laser division head, and we are working with local hospitals, and finally it is today. What was going in science, everything goes all over, and we have a lot of interactions, but we are seeing many things happening, laser everywhere. Similarly, nanoscience everywhere, we are having this charge storage, CCDs, all those things. So these